Hey everybody, it's Christine. Today I am up with the scrap room and I am using the Flavors of the Month kit. Today I am using the Simple Stories Valentine Collection page kit. And this one has a very vintage feel to it, so it's going to take me a little bit out of my comfort zone. But I had a lot of fun doing this one. I am using a picture of me and my husband, and as you can see, I have already mounted a circle onto there, and I have distressed the edges of that circle so that it has a roughed up look. And then I am going to use this chipboard piece to create actually a title area. So my picture is going to go on the right hand side there, and then I'm going to use this to frame my title. Along that line, I am continuing my series on title work. So for this one in particular, I contained my title within a chipboard element. Kind of a different look than I usually do. Often I will have it freeform and I'll have it big or something like that. But today I really wanted to be able to use this chipboard frame, but I knew it was too big for my picture. So I thought, you know, what about if I use it for my title? And so that's just a really simple twist on your title work, using an element within the collection that maybe you want to use but couldn't find a way to use it in another way, make it work within your title. So I am going to get those all on there, and then I'm going to continue to build things, and you will see my title come together here a little bit more. Now at this point I felt like I needed another pop of color on this layout, so I'm going to bring in some light blue cardstock that coordinates with some other elements within this page kit so that I can bring in another color. Otherwise it was just too heavy on the pinks for my personal taste, and so I wanted to change that up a little bit. This page kit is one of the 4 page kits in the Flavors of the Month kit this month. Each month, the Flavors of the Month kit will contain 4 different kits that have patterned papers, cardstocks, embellishments, all the things you need to at least start a layout, if not complete one. Now, sometimes you may need to add a little bit more for your title work or for embellishments, but oftentimes I don't need anything extra, and that is one of the things that I love. It gives me a really good taste of new collections every month and allows me to complete, if not nearly complete, if not complete a layout with those collections. It also allows me just to get a sense of if I like those collections and if I'd like to get more of them. So this is the Simple Stories one for this month, and you do definitely want to check in at the website because she does sell out of these each month. She does also have other options for add-ins, including a patterned paper kit, cardstock kits, embellishment kits, there's a double shot kit with more page kits, just lots of options. So be sure to check those out. Now, having said all that, you've seen a little bit more of my layout come together. At this point, I'm kind of deciding what different embellishments I want to use. I had some chipboard, obviously, to choose from. I have some ephemera, I have some stickers, and I just did some fussy cutting too. So lots of different options. And right here, I'm just considering how I want to use the flowers. I don't want it to be so big that it overwhelms the layout, and I can see where that easily could happen. So between the big space for my title and those big flowers, I'm trying to proceed somewhat cautiously because I don't want the picture to get lost completely. Really, the picture is the main point. And so trying to just kind of find a good balance here. And in the end, I do think I came up with a good balance, but it did take me a while just to move things around and hem and haw with it a little bit. You will notice that I did try and keep a good balance of both curved lines as well as straight edges. So I've got the frame with the straight lines, I've got that sticker down below my picture with straight lines, I've got the picture with straight lines, but then I've also got a lot of flowing and motion going with the circle and the butterfly and the flowers, and all those things come together to provide a good balance on a layout where everything is not straight and rigid, but everything is not also flowy and moving. So lots of little details to consider there. Now, I am going to build my title a little bit more here, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add those words "love you" in there. That came from the sticker sheet that was in this page kit. and it is a unique font, as you can see. It's not a traditional print font. Obviously, it's not a script font, though, either. It's almost got kind of an old English feel to it, I think. Not an expert on fonts by any means, but that's what it kind of reminds me of. And, you know, I've got all the text in the background, too, on that patterned paper. So lots of visual text throughout. Now, the dimension in this layout so far, coming from a couple different places. Number one, I distressed the edges of my circle, so I've got some dimension there. I'm also going to pop up that butterfly, and you can see it looks like it's almost taking off. I've got dimension underneath my flowers there on the right-hand bottom, and my chipboard frame is actually chipboard, so it's got dimension too. So lots of dimension happening pretty naturally on this layout without me having to do a lot to add to it. One of the things I love about Simple Stories products is that they do a really good job of balancing between icons and pictures in their stickers and ephemera, but also having text. I don't want a real text-heavy layout, but I don't want a layout that's devoid of text either. And so I like to have a mixture of both as options. This page kit was especially good for that with stickers and ephemera. I had a lot of options to be able to add some nice words on there that added also color, but also to have just some simple embellishments that were just hearts and flowers and things like that, that I just was able to not have everything be words. I like both. I like to have a layout with a lot of text on it that tells my story, partially because I don't tend to do a lot of my journaling in public. I tend to include that on the back side, and so I like to be able to help tell the story on the front side, but also just because I like words. I like to talk, and I like people, and I like having conversations and processing things, and so that all kind of just fits with my personality. But like I said before, I don't want a layout that's so heavy on words that you lose the artistic elements of it. So that is something I appreciate about Simple Stories page kits. They do a good job of a balance between the two, leaving options open for whatever your style may be. I'm going to add in a few little details and then we will be done. So I'm adding in just some light powdery blue colored Nuvo drops, just to add, basically to add a little pop of color throughout the layout and in the areas where I want the eye to move across. So I'm really going to focus those Nuvo drops up by the butterfly and then down into the title and working their way down to the picture. I'm also going to tuck a tag behind my picture and add some baker's twine. That will just add another little layer in there of detail. Thank you so much for joining me today. Be sure to check out the kits for this month over at the Scrap Room, and give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this video, and hope you have had a fun Valentine's Day or Valentine's weekend, and we will see you again next time with a new video.